civic education, public participation, and or involvement of the people. Number 4, that the community has never given consent for the mining in accordance with the provisions of that sections 37(1) of the Mining Act with regards to the procedure for mining on private or community land. Number 5, that similarly the governor of the county government of Kitui announced that mining activities would start in the next six months with effect from April 2018. And the third, the local residents would be relocated to Kanyonyo area in Kitui County, about 100 kilometers from their current residence. Number 6, that the residents have buried their loved ones in the said area, and it will be against the Kampa customs and the cultural practices to unearth their loved ones and see their graves being destroyed by heavy machines. Number 7, that school-going children and the elderly and the disabled will be negatively affected due to change of the environment as a result of the relocation. Number 8, that the land was not properly surveyed, with many people possessing titles with errors in names, and while others have less size than the actual parcel of the land allocated. Number 9, that during demarcation process, large parcels of land were left between the boundaries and or allocated to strangers who have no legal right over it. 10, that environmental impact assessment or environmental management plan were never conducted. 11, that the community has never been informed about compensation of their land and the properties, if any. 12, that efforts to resolve this matter with the relevant stakeholders have been futile. And lastly, 13, that the issues in respect of this petition is made are not pending before any court of law, constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Departmental Committee on Energy, considers the matters raised in the petition pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 216(5)A and make recommendations thereof. And your petitioners will ever pray. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, very interesting one. I think even if I was to allow comments, it would just become debate. But it's important that you say that the residents have lived in that area since time immemorial, which means time which, yes. But I think, honourable members, since the Honourable Mulyungi had actually presented this petition in the last session, I think it's only fair that the petition be referred to the relevant committee of the House to act as appropriate. But I think given the enormity of the issues that the Honourable Mulyungi has raised in the petition, should the Honourable Mulyungi think that the 60 days period given by understanding order number 227, if you think that they're about to expire before the committee has presented the report, you should maybe 7 days or 10 days before the expiry of the 60 days, rise properly in your place here in the House and seek an update from the committee. And if need be, the committee to seek extension if they will not have finalized the consideration of the petition, because there are weighty matters that you've raised in the petition. Now I can see comments. Honorable Duale.
The Speaker, I am a neighbor to Mwingi, and as I pass through that constituency, the voters in that area are also my friends. But this coal mining is very controversial in Kitui County. And I hope this petition is not a petition based on the local politics of Kitui. Why do I say so? I read it in the media that the governor of Kitui, Honorable Charity Ngilu, is supporting the prospect of coal mining. And her future competitor, the member from Mwingi Central, who is a petitioner on behalf of the people of Mwingi, is also a prospective governor. So, Mr. Speaker, as I see this is a very serious petition, I think the House should not be taken. This morning we had also the Meru politics brought to the House vis-a-vis the chairman of the National Cohesion. So I am seeing a trend where we are bringing the local politics into Parliament either through questions, through motions, through petitions. So the committee you are going to refer to, Mr. Speaker, must listen to both Honorable Charity Ngilu and her team, and must listen also to the member for Kitui Central, because those of us who believe if there is a resource in your county, if there is oil, if there is minerals, it's good for that county and it's good for the country. And I don't know who this petition is referring to as strangers. You know, you should mention, if it is a foreign company, it can be a stranger. But if they are local prospectors from other parts of the country, then they don't become a stranger. But Mr. Speaker, I think in future, let us not bring, as we approach 2022, there are many prospective governors here and prospective senators. And they have got, and even the Secretary General of NAT and his teachers out there. So we should not even use the privilege given to us in this House, either in the committee or in the plenary, to bring personal and county matters. But I beg to support, but ask that Honorable Charity Ngilu and those who want development must be given an opportunity to appear before the committee.
I beg to oppose. Member for Kitui Central.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me thank Honorable Mulyungi for bringing up this matter, but at the same time also inform the majority leader that when this matter started being debated, Honorable Mulyungi and Honorable Ngilu were never a governor or MP, respectively. The only people who at that point were in this place is only myself and Honorable Rachel Nyamai, because, Mr. Speaker, at one point, we even signed the agreement. And I think, Mr. Speaker, what we are saying is, this is a resource which is important to both Kitui County and to the nation. And our interest as Kenyans, not even as Kitui people, is to see this resource exploited, Mr. Speaker, to benefit both Kenyans and the local people. So the issues Honorable Mulyungi is raising, I would request that they be addressed urgently so that we pave way for this important resource which can benefit this country. And my recommendation, Mr. Speaker, I wish it was a question, it was put in a way of a question, so that we would have said, gotten clarification from the CS on where we are, like a status report. But now that it's a petition, we'll allow the process to take place, Mr. Speaker, but we know petitions at the end of the day will never debate here, neither we like to do it with the report. It will just be either tabled and it becomes a report. But for now, we can accept that, Speaker. But I think as a country, we seriously need to think about some of these resources which are important to this country and which can make this economy grow, Mr. Speaker. So if we go that way, we'll be helping. And to me, I think when it comes to these resources, they don't belong to a region. They belong to the nation. It's for the interest of Kenyans. And the quicker they are exploited, the better for Kenyans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, member for Kangema, finally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to associate myself with the petitioners. They brought some issues into light. One is that impact assessment has not been held. Two, today, coal is a cake, is dirty energy. We cannot be told because it's economic, we should exploit it at any circumstances. It goes against exploitation of this resource goes against the whole of Article 42, because Article 42 speaks about clean environment is a basic right. So irrespective of the value, monetary value, that ensues from this resource, because it is against the Constitution, the rights of the individuals, the occupants of Kitui, Mwingi. And secondly, no impact because they want to exploit it in a hurry because they know the assessment will not pass. Impact assessment will not pass any test, any known test in the world. I'm a member of the Energy Committee, and I have stated this before, that every country in the world is running away from coal. Why are we going back to coal? Thank you.
Well, honourable members, there's no need for debate. As you know, it is a petition. There's no need. You can give the opinion before the committee. Because in any event, you know, honourable members, it's good for everybody to appreciate. Whereas the Constitution in Article 119 allows any Kenyan to petition Parliament. And whereas the Parliament has also enacted the procedure to be followed, the avenue of petitions has certain limitations. Just like the Honorable Makali Mulu did indicate. Standing Order number 227 requires that the committee will make its findings on a petition and report to the petitioner directly, while at the same time tabling a report before the House, and the Speaker may only allow comments for a limited period of 20 minutes. Comments. The House is not required to make any resolution. So it is important that also members appreciate, and more so those in the Procedure and House Rules Committee should take this particular issue, this particular aspect of this procedure, so that maybe appropriate amendments could be introduced. Because some of the petitions which are presented here are requiring the House to delve into very serious matters, and it's unfortunate that the House thereafter is not even required to resolve anything. It's merely supposed to note and make comments for 20 minutes. I'm sure further information will be given by those members of the Procedure and House Committee who traveled out of the country recently about the place of petitions and how petitions may be processed from time to time. So the petition will stand committed to the relevant committee. Honourable members, before we proceed, allow me to recognize members of the Nyali Constituency National Development Fund, National Government Constituency Development Fund, who are in the Speaker's Gallery, and students from the following institutions in the public gallery: Emeroka Secondary School, Nyaribari Masaba, Kisii County, and also from Moremani Secondary School, Nyaribari Masaba, similarly from Kisii County. They are all welcome to observe the proceedings of the National Assembly this afternoon. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Leader of the majority. Is it Majority Whip?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of Leader of Majority Party, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, March 27th, 2019, afternoon sitting. reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements in respect of the following institutions for the year ending 30th June 2018 and the certificates therein. 1. Rural Enterprise Fund. 2. Salaries and Remuneration Commission. 3. Receiver of Revenue Development. 4. The Receiver of Revenue Pensions Department. 5. Revenue Statements. State Department for Correctional Services. 6. State Department for Correctional Services. 7. Energy Regulatory Commission. 8. National Land Commission. And 9. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
First question is by the member by private notice, the member for Nairobi, Honorable Pasaris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to ask the question 142 of 2019, addressed to the Cabinet Secretary of Labour and Social Protection. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide a list of all government-funded orphanages and related institutions and costs of running the said institutions? 2, could the Cabinet Secretary further provide details of cost of food and utilities such as water, electric power and rent incurred by the orphanages and related institutions in the country? Considering the challenges faced by the said institutions, could the Cabinet Secretary consider subsidizing the costs of housing, food and utilities such as electric power and water to these facilities? Thank you.
Whereas the question to be responded to before the Committee of Labour and Social Welfare. Next question by the member for Marakwet West, Honorable Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask question number 151 on the order paper to the Cabinet Secretary for Education. 1. Is the Cabinet Secretary aware of the existence of a lease agreement between Kisii University and Siokwe Tarita Limited regarding the tenancy of Tarita Center, which is part of LR number Eldoret Municipality Block 7/162? If yes, what are the terms of the lease and what were the circumstances surrounding the termination of the said lease by Kisii University in October 2016? Third, what measures is the ministry undertaking to resolve this dispute between Kisii University and Siokwe Tarita Limited? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
All question to be responded to before the Departmental Committee on Education and Research. Next question by the member for Sotik, Honorable Koske.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask question number 152 of 2019 to the CS of Agriculture and Livestock. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the criteria used to write off loans owed by farmers to Agriculture Finance Corporation AFC following the Presidential Directive of 2017? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Question to be responded to before the Committee on Agriculture and Livestock. Next question by the member for Kaiti, Honorable Kimilo.
Thank you, Speaker. I raise to ask question number 154, 2019 in the order paper. Is the Cabinet Secretary aware the public secondary school have continued to withhold Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE, certificate for the candidate with fee arrears in Kaiti constituency and Makueni at lunch, contrary to the provision of the Basic Education Act number 14 of 2013. What the measures is the ministry taking to ensure that KCSE certificates for the candidates who cannot afford to pay their arrears are released. Thank you.
Similarly, to be responded to before the Committee on Education and Research. Next question by the member for Mwatate. Is this a mistake, Honorable Mwadime? I see the staff have indicated the Honorable Engineer.
Yeah, that's a
Have you
mistake.
just qualified as an engineer?
No, I'm not an engineer, but
I
of course, you know, I'm a mathematician.
read this answer a question early in the morning, and I wondered. Then we needed to congratulate you.
No, I don't need to. I think my certificates are more higher than this.
You may proceed, Honorable Mandime.
Okay, thank you, sir. Question 156, 2019, to the Cabinet Secretary for Education. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the policy on language of instruction for children at pre-primary and lower primary schools vis-a-vis the guiding principle regarding provision of basic education as provided for in Section 4 of the Basic Education Act number 14 of 2013?
Very well. To be responded to before the Committee on Education and Research. Next question by the member for Kitui Rural. Honorable Mboni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask question number 157 of 2009, the order paper, to the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, and Urban Development. One, what is the status of construction of the Southeastern Kenya University, in short, SECO, Kwafonza Road in Kitui constituency? Two, when is the construction of the said road expected to be completed? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Question to be responded to by the Cabinet Secretary before the Committee on Transport, Public Works, and Housing. There are no requests for statements. Honourable members, I wish to draw your attention to the existence of a supplementary order paper. I hope that every member is in possession of a supplementary order paper, which was not loaded onto your iPads, because it's a supplementary order paper. The paper was prepared a little later. So those of you who are using your iPads, you may not see this particular paper because it was not loaded. The one which was on the iPads is the original order paper, but there was necessity to have a supplementary order paper to incorporate a report of one of the committees with regard to the irrigation bill. So we will proceed on the basis of the supplementary order paper.
Order number 8, motion. Senate amendments to the Land Value Index Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2018. Question to be put.
Honourable members. Honourable members, debate on this motion was concluded yesterday, and what remained was the question to be put, which I hereby do. That the Senate amendments to the Land Value Index Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2018, be now considered. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say no? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, motion. Senate amendments to the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017. Question to be put.
Honour members, if the member for Nyali, I'm sure you may be desirous of going to meet the CDF committee, but if you look at the order paper, unfortunately, I say you don't carry it. Honourable members, once again, this debate was concluded, and I hereby put the question, which is that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Regional Integration on inspection visits of the Namanga One-Stop Border Post, Kajiado County, held on 7th to 10th of April 2018, laid to the table of the House on Tuesday, November 13th, 2018. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say no? The ayes have it. Next one.
Order number 11, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2019, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the National Cohesion and Integration Act 2008 and for connected purposes. Order number 12, motion, Senate amendments to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017.
Mover, leader majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move that the Senate amendments to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017 be read a second time. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the House on the onset to reject the Senate amendments to Clause 6 in the proposed new Section 107A1, which is unfortunately the committee agreed with. The Committee on Agriculture, yes, the Committee of Agriculture, the chair is here, have agreed with. Mr. Speaker, initially the bill as passed by this House provided that, no, I think I have, sorry, Mr. Speaker, I think I have a different document. Chairman, give me your document.
We also rejected 6.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, if you look at Clause 2 of the bill, in which the National Assembly and the Senate disagreed, and the committee disagreed with this in that irrigation means any hydraulic engineering process which abstracts, stores, and supplies water to the crops or any other cultivated plants, livestock, and all that. And Mr. Speaker, the committee have said that the amendment of the National Assembly Committee on Agriculture supersedes that because it carries more weight and the scope in terms of the definition. So that, I think, the committee has disagreed with the Senate, the justification being that the Senate amendment to the definition of the term irrigation and license are without the effect because the definition of those two terms are the same, and they were in the National Assembly version that were transmitted to the Senate. So there's nothing they have changed. They have just agreed with us. But in terms of grammatical error, there was some differences. In Clause 3, Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm that the committee agreed with the Senate amendments, but subject to the deletion of the word "for" appearing immediately after the words "in the Act." Of course, the justification for that is that the amendment does not alter the substance, the meaning, and the meaning of the provisions, but it seeks to bring a provision into conformity with the good drafting practices. And I said, Mr. Speaker, yesterday that I think the legal department in the Senate must be very, very careful in terms of the drafting of legislation. Clause 6, Mr. Speaker, is an area that the committee disagreed with the Senate. I'm sure the chair will give us the reasons because it's a very long section. And one of the reasons that the committee gave in partly where they agreed with the Senate is that it has agreed with the Senate in as far as B and H is concerned. The committee rejected the Senate amendments in paragraph A, B, I, H, and A, B, C, H, and and B in Roman 1 and I in Roman 3. The committee also agreed with the Senate amendments in paragraph B of Roman 1 because the use of the term promote connects with the sensitization of the many diverse creation, which was the intention of that paragraph vis-a-vis the facilitation aspect. Clause 8 of the bill, Mr. Speaker, it will be amended in subclause 2 by inserting the words safe storage immediately after the words promoting and marketing. And I think the committee, the National Assembly Committee agreed with the chair, with the Senate, which I also have no problem as the originator of the bill. So, Mr. Speaker, the Senate amendments, some we have agreed with them, and few we have not agreed with them. And the only route available now, available in this matter is the route of mediation under Article 113. So once we finish and we go to the Committee of the Whole House, then this will be part of the bills that will create a mediation committee, the roads bill, the fiscal planning, the land index, the copyright, the warehouse receipts, and the irrigation bill. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, and I really want to urge members that we don't spend more time on this matter because we are going to the Committee of the Whole House where we can again still go amendment by amendment, so we take as little time as possible so that we finish this matter, and then from next week, the mediation committee, which will be composed of the chairs and other members and the vice chairs, then we can deliberate that matter so that the House, with our colleagues from the Senate, so that the House, the two houses can agree, and we really want to do it through a consensus so that we only come back to the House to report that we have agreed on all the contentious issues, and then we send the bills to the President for assent, because these bills are very critical to the running of government and also to the 4 big agenda of the President Uhuru Kenyatta. I beg to move and ask the Chair of Agriculture, Livestock and and Fisheries to second.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I wish to rise to second the Senate Bill number 46 of irrigation and the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017. Mr. Speaker, like the majority leader has said, that there are sections, the clauses we've agreed with, because some of the areas were merely for cleaning the bill, while others have made some fundamental changes, which I am going to enumerate. Quickly, if we go to clause 2 of the National Assembly Bill, there is nothing much there. We agreed that it was just a matter of cleaning the Senate amendment to the definition of terms, irrigation, and license. So we agreed with the Senate on clause 2 in that it did not make any difference. Clause 3 of the National Assembly, they had just merely sought to interchange the words to matters relating to the development, management, financing, provision of support services, which also the committee felt did not make a difference, and so we agreed with the Senate. The Senate amendment doesn't alter the substance of the provision, but only seeks to reinforce the clause, as it were. Clause 6, we agreed in part, areas which we felt that was just merely sanitizing, but there are areas which made fundamental differences that we had rejected as National Assembly.
and this is clause 6, subclause 1, where the Senate wanted the insertion of the Cabinet Secretary shall in consultation with the Council of Governors. We felt that this is not their mandate and that irrigation is not a devolved function. And so the inclusion of the Council of Governors so that the Cabinet Secretary consults them, we thought that was just going to cause delay, unnecessary delay in implementation of matters irrigation. Subclause 2, without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing, the Cabinet Secretary shall, in consultation with the Council of Governors. This also had the same fate that we felt as a committee that consulting the Council of Governors for matters irrigation and that the CS was going to take responsibility for the operation management and also the estimate of the department. We felt that it is not necessary for the Council of Governors to be involved when it comes to issues of irrigation. As far as clause 6(1) is concerned, the committee rejected. And basically the justification, as I said, part of the fourth schedule of the Constitution provides that national government has a function relating to agriculture, whereas irrigation is the mandate of the national government, so it is not devolved. However, irrigation is, hence it is not a devolved function and it is included in part 2 of the fourth schedule of the Constitution. In clause 8, also there are not much difference. The changes are the committee agreed with the Senate amendment. The reason is the additional power of National Irrigation Authority to promote, and they added the words safe storage of crops, animal and fish products grown or produced on national and other irrigation schemes further enriches the bill. So here, they added the word safe storage, where in our National Assembly bill, we only had the Irrigation Authority to promote crops, animals, and fish products. Then they added to promote safe storage of crops, animals, and fish products. So we felt this just enhanced the bill, so we had no issue with that. Clause 9, the clause 9 of the bill be amended in A1 by deleting the words State Department of appearing immediately after the words the Principal Secretary. Here the justification is that state departments do change every so often with the executive orders. So we felt that the Senate version where they actually said that the committee agreed with the Senate amendment in paragraph A. The committee rejected Senate amendment in paragraph A2, A3, B, C, and D. The reason why we disagreed with the Senate amendment is to unduly expand the composition of the board of the national authority. This goes against the Mwongozo guidelines, where they wanted the Council of Governors to nominate 4 members to the board. So the committee felt that that was far too many, an expanded board, which is against the Mwongozo guidelines, and so we rejected that. The provisions enables the members of the board to elect vice chairperson from among themselves and to have gender parity in leadership as well. So, Mr. Speaker, these are but some of the few areas where we had rejected and a few where we felt that it's a bit of sanitization and good practice in drafting. We agreed with the Senate. So like those that are going to make fundamental differences, those that will seek to rope in the Council of Governors, we rejected outright. With those few remarks, I second. Thank you.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that the Senate amendments to the irrigation bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017, be now considered. Member for Mwea.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I arise to support the report by the Agriculture Committee. Mr. Speaker, even as I do so, I want to take a note that it was in May last year that this particular bill was passed in this House, Mr. Speaker, and from that time to now, March, is when we are getting it from Senate. This is almost a year, Mr. Speaker, and I think the trend is worrying. We work very hard in this House, we pass bills, they go to the Senate, start a process of coming up with amendments, some of which, Mr. Speaker, are not in the line and the spirit of the particular bill. Of particular interest, Mr. Speaker, is the introduction of the consultation with the Council of Governors, which will make things much slower in the implementation of the irrigation bill as it is, Mr. Speaker. And I want to commend the committee for rejecting that particular amendment, Mr. Speaker. I also want to support the committee in the rejection of the expansion of the board, which would again have resorted to a bloated board, Mr. Speaker. The issue here is not about the expansion of the board, but introduction of people who may not have direct interest in the implementation of the irrigation bill, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to support the committee on that and hope that when it goes to the mediation, Senate will find it necessary to go by the committee in this House. I want to take note, Mr. Speaker, I come from one of the largest irrigation schemes in this country, that is Mwea irrigation scheme, and I want to commend the committee that took time to discuss and to talk directly to the farmers to understand the challenges, the issues, and how to move irrigation forward in this country. And therefore, they took time before they came up with the bill, the proposals that they had in the bill. And for that reason, I want to, from the onset, prevail upon our brothers in Senate that when this goes for mediation, they will understand that this the committee in this House, which again I want to commend, Mr. Speaker, because I took time last year to be with them, and I want to really thank the chairman and his deputy who took time to not only hear us, but also took time to come all the way to Mwea to understand the plight of farmers in as far as irrigation is concerned. If we introduce too much on the control of county governments or the Council of Governors in irrigation schemes, Mr. Speaker, which is really a role of the national government, what we are going to do is to delay the implementation of various issues within the irrigation schemes, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I look forward to a fruitful mediation. I look forward to the Senate taking note of the efforts that was put by the committee in this House for them to agree on the proposals that will be put forward. Mr. Speaker, I support this report by the committee.
Honourable members, I'm assuming that everybody who has their cards in the machine desires to contribute to this. I see the first one is the member for Mwingi Central. Absent, not desiring to present. Member for Kitui Central.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me also add my voice into this important motion on this bill from the Senate, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the committee. I've looked through the amendments, and first of all, I think it's good that a bit of cleaning has been done by the Senate, so we must appreciate the fact that they have done a bit of cleaning. But, Mr. Speaker, I think there are some substantive amendments they have done, which I agree with the committee that we can't accept them. And one of them is a situation where they want the Council of County Governors to nominate members to boards and be a very active player into this exercise of irrigation. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with the chairman that where a function is not devolved, I don't see any need why we should have the nominees from the Council of Governors. That should be just
make them a bit relevant, Honorable Speaker. And we have constitutional experts like Honorable Jimmy Angwenyi. We also have the Speaker himself is a mobile encyclopedia when it comes to our Constitution. They should really learn a lot from the members of this House that were involved in crafting of the Constitution, because it seems they don't really understand the Constitution very well. So I advise the Senate to go for an induction, and if they find that they are hanging and they don't have any function, instead of looking for relevant by delaying such very important bills, then they should request for that House to be dissolved. And we have the National Assembly oversighting national government and County Assembly oversighting county government, full stop. So thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I really support the committee report, and that such amendment should not be entertained from the Senate, because even yesterday we had the same issues. And we cannot be wasting our time and taxpayers' money debating on issues repeatedly that it seems that a certain House does not really do understand. So thank you very much, and I refer them to Honorable Omolo Otiende. He's also another very intelligent guy when it comes to constitutional matters, so they can also consult Honorable Omolo Otiende. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Intervention by a member for Napaholo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it's because I wanted to rise on Standing Order 95 to seek your direction, Honorable Speaker, that so far the speakers who have spoken seem to be moving towards one direction. And going as per the speech by the Leader of Majority, Honorable Speaker, he seems to imply that we are going to have a committee of the whole House tomorrow, which means, Honorable Speaker, much of the work shall be dealt with in the committee of the whole House. Given that direction, Honorable Speaker, will I be in order that we seek that the mover is called upon to reply? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Looks like that could be the mood in the House, isn't it? Could I get it from, because one of the members, as you know, I'm sure many of you now have read the full text of the speech made on 4th of January, 1642 by Speaker Lentho. Yes. Yes, let me get it. The member for Napaholo, the Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe, has risen in his place and claiming that given what is being said by every member and given the possibility that there will still be another chance for this bill to be discussed by a smaller committee, that the mover be called upon to reply. And therefore put the question, which is that the mover be called upon to reply. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. Sorry, the ayes have it. The member for Imenti Central was only alone. So, mover.
Mr. Speaker, I think members who contributed made very valuable contribution, and this is a bill that is going to mediation under Article 113. And because we are now going to the Committee of the Whole House to actualize that, so I beg to reply.
Very well, honourable members, I therefore put the question, which is the Senate amendments to the irrigation bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017, be now considered. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it.
Next one. Order number 13, Committee of the Whole House.
Order members, the members who are walking in to the chamber, please do so in a hurry as we want to start the business. All right, honorable members, we're in the Committee of the Whole House. And as you can see in your order paper, we have 3 bills to look at. We are considering to start with the irrigation, but since we are getting ready for that, honorable members, we will start with the Senate amendments to the land value index laws.
Senate amendment to clause 1.
I propose the question, which is the Senate amendment to clause 1, be now approved. Honorable Member for Kitui West.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 1 be deleted. And the purpose of this deletion is that we would like to maintain the title of the bill, that is the one with the land value index, as opposed to calling it a land laws amendment. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 1 be amended as proposed by Honorable Member for Kitwe. Leader of Majority, you want me to put the question? That is the mood of the House. Members, I now put the question with a Senate amendment to clause 1 be amended as proposed. As many as of the people say aye, as many as of the people say nay. Remember, as the ayes have it. Now I put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 1 as amended be now approved. As many as of the people say aye, and of contrary people say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 2, Senate amendment to clause 3, Senate amendment to clause 4.
Members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 2, Senate amendment clause 3, and Senate amendment clause 4 be now approved. Honourable members, we have no amendments to this, and neither put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 2, Senate amendment clause 3, and Senate amendment clause 4 be now approved. As many as of the people say aye, as many as of contrary people say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment to clause 5.
I propose a question which is the Senate amendment to clause 5 be now approved. Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment clause 5 be amended. Honorable Chair, we agree to this amendment, which introduces new definitions which help to make the bill clearer. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
With the movement, honourable members, I neither move to propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 5 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai. I put the question, the mood of the House, honourable members, I move to put the question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 5 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai. Will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question, the global question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 5 as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment to clause 6.
I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 6 be now approved. Mover, Honorable Nyamai again.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 6 be amended in paragraph A by deleting subparagraph 2, deleting subparagraph 4. The justification for this, Honorable Chair, is that the committee notes that the deletion of the word apparent value of the land is improper, and as it alters the import of the clause, which was to provide an increase in the value of the land. This shall be disregarded if there is an increase in the potential value of the land. Also, the committee also notes that section 107A8A reduces the duration of what can be termed as uninterrupted occupation from 12 to 6 years. This period should be tied to the common law or doctrine, which refers to 12 years. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Members, thank you. I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 6 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai. Any interest to speak to this, Honorable Sako? Yes, give it to Honorable Sako. It's a deletion.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I rise to support the chair on this. Primarily because I think somebody in the Senate just looked at almost this thing with triviality because it addresses issues of community land. It is important for those of us who are actually occupying community land, we take cognizance of the import of this bill. And what the Senate attempts to do is to water it down and make it appear that that land is useless. For that reason, I support the amendment proposed by the chair. Thank you, Chair.
Very well, you support the amendment by the chair. I see no other interest to speak to this. Honourable members, and I am now moved to put the question, which is the Senate amendment to clause 6 be amended as proposed by Honourable Rachel Nyamai. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. I move to put the global question, which is the Senate amendment to clause 6 as amended be now approved. Honourable members, as many as are of the opinion say aye. As many as are contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment to clause 7.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is the Senate amendment to clause 7 be now approved. Mover, Honourable Nyamai, move your amendment.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 7 be amended by deleting paragraph B. The purpose of this deletion is the committee notes that the acquiring body, which may refer to any public institution, is distinct from the acquiring authority, which is the National Land Commission. It is therefore necessary to retain the provisions as currently contained in the Land Act for the purpose of clarity. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. Members, I propose a question which is that Senate amendment to clause 7 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai, which is a deletion. I see no interest to comment on this, and I therefore move to put the question, members, which is that Senate amendment to clause 7 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai. As many as are of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it. I now put the question to the clause, which is that amendments to Senate amendment to clause 7 as amended be now approved. Honourable members, as many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 12. Senate amendment to clause 13. Senate amendment to clause 14. Senate amendment to clause 16.
Members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 12, Senate amendment to clause 13, Senate amendment to clause 14, and Senate amendment to clause 16 be now approved. Honourable members, we have no amendments to these clauses, and I therefore move to put the question, which is that the Senate amendment to clause 12, Senate amendment to clause 13, Senate amendment to clause 14, and Senate amendment to clause 16 be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 17.
I propose a question which is a Senate amendment clause 17 be now approved. Honorable Rachel Nyamai, you have an amendment to the clause?
Yes, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 17 be deleted. The justification for this, Honorable Chair, is to ensure that the Cabinet Secretary is given an opportunity when appointing members of the tribunal to be able to handle issues of inclusivity and also possibilities of ensuring gender diversity or regional balancing. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. With the mover moving the amendment, I move to propose, which is that Senate amendment to clause 17 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai. In fact, it should be deleted. It's a deletion. Honorable Leader of Majority, member for Garissa Township.
Thank you, Chair, but I'm seeing there's a new minority leader today on the seat. But I can say he's overqualified. Chair, I support the chair because, the Senate is bringing in, something that I can't understand, that there must be somebody nominated by Judicial Service Commission, one person nominated by the Cabinet Secretary, one person nominated by evaluators. I think the National Assembly Committee is saying, let the Cabinet Secretary look into gender, region, and other diversity and professional body to bring it. I mean, Judicial Service Commission cannot play a role here. That is where people should appeal in case somebody is aggrieved by the National Commission or the ministry, they go to courts. So the institution that runs the courts cannot again have a membership in this matter, so in this tribunal. So I beg to support the chair.
I put the question. The new, is it leader of minority? But of course, that is not your position. It's none other like Honorable Musimba, member for Kibwezi West.
I thank you. I also rise to support the chair in this amendment. I think any tribunal is a quasi-judicial institution. As such, has to go through the ranks. And this will be a clear conflict on the hierarchy within the judicial arm. So I support the chair.
Your support.
Thank you.
Today you are lucky you are sitting on a very powerful chair, the leader of minority. Members, I move to put the question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 17 be amended as proposed. As many as are of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Or members, the ayes have it. Members, and I move to put the question or to the clause, which is that Senate amendment to clause 17 as amended be now approved. As many as are of the opinion say aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Or members, the ayes have it. Next. And members, we are through with the committee of the whole house on the Senate amendments on the lands. So I call upon the mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the committee of the whole house has considered the Senate amendments to the Land Value Index Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2018, and approved the same with amendments.
Very well. Honourable members, I want to put the question for reporting, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Land Value Index Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Members, we are going to proceed to the other amendments. Yes, other members will proceed to the Senate amendments to the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017. We can follow the way the order paper is. Initially, we were to realign it, to rearrange it, but members, now we are in the committee of the House on the Senate amendments to the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017.
Senate amendment to clause 3.
Members, I propose a question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 3 be now approved. There is an amendment again by Honorable Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 3 be amended in paragraph A by deleting the word land use and substituting therefore the word physical, and B in paragraph B by deleting the word land use appearing in the proposed new paragraph H and substituting it with the word physical. The justification for this, Chair, is because of the rejection by committee to change the title of this bill from physical planning to land use.
Very well, members, I move to propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai. I put the question, Honorable members, which is that Senate amendment to clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it. I move to put the question to the clause, which is that Senate amendment to clause 3 as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 4.
I propose the question, which the Senate amendment to clause 4 be now approved. Honourable members, we have no amendment to this, and I therefore move to put the question to the clause, which is a Senate amendment to clause 4 be now approved. As many as are of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to part 2.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to part 2 be now amended, be now approved. There is an amendment?
Yes.
Again by Honorable Rachel Nyamai.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to Part 2 be amended as per the order of paper. The justification is the amendment is not necessary as the bill as passed by the House relates on matters of physical planning. The bill, as it is, does not offend the provisions of Article 66 of the Constitution, so it can pass as it is. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. It's a deletion. I propose a question which says the Senate amendment to Part 2 be amended as proposed by Honorable Rachel Nyamai. Leader of Majority, you want to speak to this? The member for Mwingi, Honourable members, there being no members who want to contribute to this, I therefore move to put the question, which is that Senate amendment to Part 2 be deleted. As many as are of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question to the part, which is that Senate amendment to Part 2 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai, which is a deletion. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 5.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 5, be now approved. We have an amendment. Honourable Rachel Nyamai.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 5 be amended as per the order paper. The justification is that the committee rejects reference to the word land use as it is retained the title of the bill to refer to physical planning. So, Honorable Chair, I'll keep repeating this because the committee stuck to physical planning as opposed to land use. Thank you, Chair.
With that justification, honourable members, now put the question. I propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 5, be amended as proposed by the Honourable Rachel Nyamai. I see no interest, and I therefore move to put the question, honourable members, which is that Senate amendment to clause 5 be amended as proposed by Honourable Rachel Nyamai. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, as the ayes have it. Next. Now, let me put the question, of course, to the whole clause, which is that Senate amendment to clause 5, as amended, be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 6.
I propose a question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 6, be now approved. Rachel Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 6 be deleted. And the reason is the committee retained the bill as physical planning.
It's a deletion, thank you.
It's a deletion.
Yes. Honourable members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 6, be deleted. I move to put the question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 6 be deleted. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I move to now to put the question, which the Senate amendment to clause 6 be amended be approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, as the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 7.
I propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 7 be now approved. The Honourable Member for Kitui, Honourable Nyamai, you have an amendment to this?
Honourable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 7 be deleted, and the reason, justification is the same as the earlier clause. Change from the fact that the committee decided to stick to physical planning as opposed to land use.
Yes, you need to pronounce yourself. You cannot just say it's just the same. But not in your justification, I therefore, honourable members, move to propose the question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 7 be deleted, as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 7 be deleted, as proposed by Honourable. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. I put the question to the clause, which is that Senate amendment to clause 7 be amended as amended, be now approved. As many as have the opinion say aye. As many as have contrary opinion say nay. Remember, as the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 8.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 8 be now approved. Honourable Rachel Nyamai.
Honourable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 8 be deleted, and the justification is that the committee decided to stick to the title of the bill, Physical Planning Bill. Thank you, Chair.
Honourable members. Honourable members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 8 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. Member for Bomet. I put the question. Honourable members, I put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 8 be deleted as proposed by the Honourable Rachel Nyamai. As many as have the opinion say aye. As many as have contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 9.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is Senate amendment to clause 9 be now approved. Honourable Rachel Nyamai.
Honourable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 9 be amended as per the order paper. And Honourable Chair, the purpose of this is the committee retained the title of the bill as Physical Planning Bill. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 9 be amended as proposed by Honourable Rachel Nyamai. I see no interest. The Honourable Member for Jurist. Moroni. The member for Moroni. Honourable Yo Nyango. You can use.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I support because there's no purpose why the name should not be retained as physical planning, so I therefore support.
Other members, with that, I see no other interest to speak to this. I therefore move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 9, be amended as proposed by Honourable Rachel Nyamai. As many as have the opinion say aye. And as many as have contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 9, as amended be now approved. As many as have the opinion say aye. Honourable members, this is a very critical stage of these amendments. Allow me to put the question once more. And you know, in the House, we do our business by vote. I now put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 9, as amended, be now approved. Honourable members, as many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 10.
I propose the question, which is the Senate amendment clause 10 be now approved. Honourable Rachel Nyamai.
Honourable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 10 be deleted and substituted, therefore, the following new amendment as per the order paper. And Honourable Chair, the justification for making these amendments in A, Chair, I propose that Senate amendment to clause 14 be amended. In A, B, and C, the justification is the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the amendments are in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. Sanko, David? You want to speak to this?
Yeah, I do support the amendment because you have seen that we have retained the name physical planning.
Very
Thank you.
well. Very well. I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment, clause 14, be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is now that the Senate amendment to clause 14 be as amended, be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 15.
I propose the question, which is the Senate amendment, clause 15, be now approved. Nyama?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 15 be deleted. The justification is that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the change of the name of the County Director of Physical Planning to County Director of Land Use Planning is not in order. The amendment is also ambiguous in that it removes the specific experience that is required for qualifications of the County Director of Physical Planning. Thank you, Chair.
It's a deletion. Honourable members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 15 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. The mode of the House is that I put the question. Honourable, I now put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 15 be now deleted as proposed by Honourable Chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 16.
Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 15 be now 16 be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendment to clause 16 be amended as per the order paper in paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C, D, E, F, G, and I. And the justification is that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Hence, the amendments are not in order.
Very well, with that justification, honourable members, I propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. The voice and the mode of the House that I put the question. Honourable members, I move now to put the question, which is that Senate amendment to 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question to clause 16, which is a Senate amendment to clause 16 be as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to part 3.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to part 3 be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to part 3 of the bill be deleted. And the justification is the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to part 3 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, members, which is a Senate amendments to part 3 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 17.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 17 be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendments to clause 17 be deleted. The justification, Chair, is that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Further, the proposed amendment in paragraph A serves no purpose as it retains provisions of the as contained in the bill. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question with a Senate amendment clause 17 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I move to put the question with a Senate amendment to clause 17 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 18.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 18 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that Senate amendment to clause 18 be deleted. And the justification is the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Amendment is a deletion. Honourable members, I move to propose a question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 18 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Honourable Leader Majority.
No, Chair,
And
we don't
Member
want
Garissa.
to. We don't want to sit here and it's only the chair and Honourable Sangok saying with the question. I think we need to know that the moment the Senate changed the title of the bill, then anywhere else in that bill where there is a physical planning, they change to land use. So all these are consequential amendments. That's why the chair is making it very fast, the chair of the committee. And I think all the majority of the 45-page amendments are all consequential as a result of the title, the change of the title of the bill. I beg to support.
Very well. The member for Turkana Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I just want to know what the reason why the chairperson is deleting fiscal. I've not understood why.
You did not understand.
Yeah.
It was member for Sangok. Sangok, not member for Sangok 001.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Chair.
He's a nominated.
Yeah, Chair, yesterday we were in this house, and you know, when you are absent, please, sometimes it's good to ask members, where did you reach, so that you know where we are. Yesterday we dealt very well, and we used our time to explain the difference between physical planning and land use. Because physical planning encompasses a lot of issues, including even land use as one of them, and amenities like roads and railways and other things. So I know, these words are very
well.
Very technical when it comes to members from Turkana.
No, it's only because he was not present. He's a very sharp member, or members, and because I don't want to call the chair to justify, I could see the member nodding, and so now that he understands, and of course from the House we make rules from an informed point of view. I therefore now with that move to put the question, which is that Senate Amendment Clause 18 be deleted. As many as have not been say aye, and as many as have contrary been say nay, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate Amendment to Clause 19.
Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 19 be now approved. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate Amendment to Clause 19 be amended in paragraph A, Roman 1, 2, and 3, and B, C, and D. And Honorable Chair, the justification is the same, that the committee made a decision to retain the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the amendments are not in order, and it's good now that the member for Turkana will be able to understand why we are doing this.
Very well. Very well. With that justification, I propose the question, which is a Senate Amendment Clause 19 be amended as proposed by the chair. Member for Moroni, Honorable Member for Garissa Township. I move to put the question, which is that Senate Amendment to Clause 19 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question to the clause, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 19, as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay, remember the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 20.
Members, I propose a question, which is that Senate Amendment to Clause 20 be now approved. Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the Senate Amendment to Clause 20 be amended as per the order paper, A, paragraph B, C, D, and E. And the justification is the same as the one that we had above, that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Thank you, Chair.
Straightforward. Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that Senate Amendment to Clause 20 be amended as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is the Senate Amendment Clause 20, be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question to the clause, which is that Senate Amendment Clause 20, as amended, be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment Clause 21.
I propose the question, which is a Senate Amendment Clause 21, be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to Clause 21 be amended as per the order paper in paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C, and paragraph E. And the justification is the committee has decided to retain the title of the bill as physical planning bill, meaning that the amendments are not in order.
Very well. I propose the question, which is a Senate Amendment Clause 21, be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question, which is a Senate Amendment Clause 21, as be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. I now put the question, which is the Senate Amendment Clause 21, as amended, be now approved. Will as many as of this say aye? And as many as of contrary say nay. Remember, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 22.
I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 22, be now approved. Honourable Member, Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate Amendment to Clause 22 be deleted. And the justification is that the committee retained the title of the bill as the physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 22, be deleted as proposed. I move to put the question, which is that Senate Amendment Clause 22 be deleted as proposed. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 23.
I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 23, be now approved. Chair. 23.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the Senate Amendment to Clause 23 be deleted. The purpose of the deletion is that the committee retain the title of the bill as physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Further, the use of the word planning authorities and deletion of reference to the words national government and county government is in subclause 1 creates ambiguity. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 23, be deleted as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is that Senate Amendment to Clause 23 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 24.
I propose the question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 24, be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate Amendment to Clause 24 be amended by deleting paragraph A. The justification is that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 25, be amended as proposed. We are on 24. I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 24, be amended as proposed by the chair. 001.
You know, all this confusion is brought about, and the time that we have used from yesterday and even today was brought about by Senate doing some very funny amendment. And that is why our very intelligent Bishop Nakara from Turkana, well, you know, we get, even me, I'm now lost. I don't know where we are. I think we should actually induct Senate. They are really costing us a lot of time.
You are supporting or you are not supporting?
I'm supporting, exactly supporting.
Very well. Members, I move to put the question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 24, be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 24, as amended, be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Senate Amendment to Clause 25.
I propose a question, which is a Senate Amendment to Clause 25, be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendment to clause 25 be deleted as per the order paper in 25, 1, 2, 3A, B, C, 4, 5, 6, and 7, as per the order paper. And the justification is the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill, and hence the amendments are not in order. Also, the committee realizes that deletes the term land use planning and retains the term physical planning as used in the bill. So the purpose is just to make sure that everything is in order. Thank you, Chair.
Everything is in order. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment clause 25 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai, member for Turkana Central. Now that you understand.
Yes, Madam, formulate and inter-county land use development plan. How can that be applicable to two different counties which are separately fiscally bordered? I just want to understand, because like Turkana and West Pokot, how can they use one plan?
Are you supporting the amendment or you are not supporting the amendment, Honorable Member for
Let the chair explain. So
Chair, please, can you in a statement just justify, just in a single statement? The reader of Chair?
I'll try to explain, then he can explain further. He's asking how two counties can use as the same development plan. Yes, that is possible because we know that counties are distinct entities, but there are activities, there are developments that involve more than one county. So we are talking about counties, inter-counties, and also regional development plans. So that is very much applicable, Honorable Member, for Turkana.
A leader of majority, before I put the question.
You know, Madam Speaker, there used to be a member of parliament from Turkana, the late Ecuador, I think. So in those days, I think he was not following the proceedings of the House. Then in the middle, then in the middle of the discussion, he had Turkana. And he woke up from his chair and he said, what about Turkana?
Leader, just try to to make him understand the justification.
So Honorable Bishop, the member for Turkana Central, he has issues with, his neighbors, Pokot. So he was wondering, how can I have the same physical planning with my enemies? So, but the chair had explained, these are where projects cross-cut counties, roads, so they can have the same physical planning.
I think.
What about Turkana?
I think the honorable member for Turkana is quite in order. Honorable members, this was for us to make a ruling, for us to take a vote, a yes or no. You must decide from a very informed point. With that one, let me put the question, which the Senate amendment to clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the people say aye, and as many as of the people say nay, members, the ayes have it. I put the question to the clause, which is a Senate amendment to clause 25, as amended be now approved. As many as of the people say aye, as many as of the people say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 26.
I propose a question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 26 be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 26 be deleted. And the reason is that the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence all those amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 26 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 26 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the people say aye, as many as of the people say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 27.
I propose a question with the Senate amendment clause 27 be now approved. Chair, mover.
Mike. Chair, I propose.
We are on clause 27, Honorable.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 27 be deleted, and the purpose of the justification is that the committee has maintained the title of the bill as physical planning bill, hence all the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
This one, just like the others. Honorable members, I propose a question with the Senate amendment to clause 27 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question with the Senate amendment to clause 27 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the people say aye, as many as the people say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment Clause 28.
Members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 28 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 28 be amended in paragraph B, paragraph D, paragraph E, and paragraph F. And the purpose of this amendment is that the Senate amendments delete the provisions through which an aggrieved person can appeal against a decision made at the Inter-County Physical Planning Joint Committee. And this would result in a vacuum as far as redress mechanisms are concerned. So we would like people to have an opportunity to seek redress. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question which is a Senate amendment clause 28 be amended as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question which is a Senate amendment clause 28 be amended as proposed by chair. Will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. I need to pronounce myself that the ayes have it. I put the question now to the clause which is a Senate amendment to clause 28 as amended be now approved. Will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 29.
I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 29 be now approved. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 29 be amended in paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C, paragraph D, and E as per the order paper, and the justification is that the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the amendments are not in order.
Very well, retention of the title of the bill. Members, I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 29 be amended as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question which is that the Senate amendment to clause 29 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question which is a Senate amendment to clause 29 as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I can see the member for Turkana is really with us.
Senate Amendment to Clause 30.
I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 30 be now approved. Chair, the mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 30 be deleted, and the justification is the committee's decision to maintain the title of the bill as physical planning, hence the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. And I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 30 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I now move to put the question with the Senate amendment to clause 30 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Our members will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 31.
I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 31 be now approved. Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 31 be deleted, and the justification is that the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence the amendments are not in order.
Very well.
Honorable Chair, this is very sad. As you can see, we are just making a repetition of the same because somebody decided not to check, even from the dictionary, the meaning of the word land use and the meaning of the word physical planning. Is making us sit here for so many hours to make sure that things are aligned.
Very well. I can see even all the following amendments and the amendment we are coming from itself to change of the chair. Before Honorable Chris Wamalo, I must propose this. And I know you are a seasoned member of this house. Allow me propose first, and then you can raise your point of order. Members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 31 be deleted. Leader of majority.
I think, Chair, we need to go on record, and I want to go on record, that the indictment is on the drafters of amendments by the legal department in the Senate, that there is a world of difference between the meaning of a physical planning and land use, even basic English. You cannot change the title of a bill, very narrowly. Land use is part of physical planning. So all that we are engaged this afternoon, and which is procedural, is right. We have no choice, is to deal with the consequential amendments following the change of the title. But I think we need to go on record that the drafters and the legal department in the Senate, you have failed. You have completely failed. You didn't advise the senators. You didn't advise your committee that this is not possible.
Very well, Leader, you are right that we must follow the procedure as we also move the amendments. And of course, members, you can tell that why we are moving fast is because it's only the same. So, Honorable Member for Kiminini, before
Thank
I put
you,
the question.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, is very, very embarrassing. By having a bicameral parliament, Madam Chair, the import of this was for checks and balances for purposes of value addition. It's very embarrassing. We've done our bit. But if the Senate had nothing to add, they should have just left the way it is. It is embarrassing to show the kind of amendments they are forwarding here. It leaves a lot to be desired, Madam Chair. And we're not here to waste time. We have so much work that we are supposed to do. It's wasting our time, and you can see the way things are. It should not just because we have a provision for mediation that everything we must be going for mediation. I think we need to revisit some of our standing orders. And I think when it comes to the time of referendum, we need to re-examine the value that this Senate is really actually adding, because it's not adding any value when it comes to matters of legislation, Madam Chair. I thank you and I support the committee.
You support the committee. Members, I put the question, which is Senate Amendment Clause 31 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as the opinion say aye. As many as different opinions say nay. There is it.
Senate Amendment Clause 32.
I propose a question with the Senate Amendment Clause 32 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to Clause 32 be amended as per the order paper in A, B, C, D, and E. And the justification is that the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning, and hence these amendments are not in order. And also, the proposed deletion of subclause 4, which provides that the county spatial plans under the County Governments Act shall be deemed to be similar to county physical development plans for purposes of the Physical Planning Act, would result in duplication of a similar processes. So we would not like to see a duplication of the same process by two departments within the county government.
Very well, same retention of the title. Remember, as I proposed a question with a Senate amendment to Clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chair. Member for Busia, Honorable Mwekali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And sincerely, I want to just make a comment on what Honorable Chris Wamalo has said.
Contribute on the same, just marry it to that.
On the issue of the Senate, Madam Speaker, we had a bill as Agriculture Committee on the irrigation bill, and it went to the Senate. It has come back, and we have used 2 committee meetings to correct what Senate has done. And I'm sitting here, I'm listening to what the lands people are going through. It is the same story the Agriculture Committee is going through. So, Madam Speaker and the leader of our majority, we need your help to deal with the Senate when they receive our bills on how they need to handle them. We are wasting a lot of time, Madam Speaker, redoing the bills. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very, very honorable Mwekali. As you may also not wish to anticipate, the other one is going to be in the agriculture. Other members, I now put the question, which is that Senate amendment to Clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as of court opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question, which the Senate amendment to Clause 32 as amended be now approved. Honorable members, will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of court opinion say nay, members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment Clause 33.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to Clause 33 be now approved. Honorable Member.
Chair, I beg to move that Senate amendment to Clause 33 be deleted. It's a consequential amendment due to the fact that the committee retained the title of the bill as Physical Planning Bill. So the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Again, it's retention of the title. Honorable members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to Clause 33 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate Amendment Clause 34.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to Clause 34 be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to Clause 34 be deleted And it is because the committee decided to maintain the title of the bill as physical planning, so all the amendments in there are not in order.
Very well, members. I propose a question with the Senate amendment to clause 34 be deleted as proposed by the chair. And I therefore move to put the question given the same import that, which is that Senate amendment to clause 34 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 35.
I propose a question with the Senate amendment to clause 35 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 35 be deleted, and it is because the committee's decision to retain physical planning bill as the title of the bill, so all the amendments are not in order.
Due to retention of the fiscal plan as the title of the bill. Honourable members, I propose a question which the Senate amendment to clause 35 be deleted as proposed by the chair. And I move to put the question with the Senate amendment clause 35 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as the contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 36.
Members, I propose a question which is that Senate amendment to clause 36 be now approved. We have an amendment. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 36 be amended as per the order paper in paragraph A, paragraph C, paragraph D, E, F, G, H, and it is because of the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning. So all those amendments are not in order.
Again, retention of the bill. Honourable members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment clause 36 be amended as proposed by the chair. I see no interest to see this, and I move to put the question which is Senate amendment clause 36 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. I put the question with the Senate amendment to clause 36 as amended be now approved. Will as many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment to clause 37.
Members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 37 be now approved. Honourable member, Honourable Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 37 be deleted. The reason for this deletion is that the committee retained the procedure for completion and approval of county physical development plan in the bill as it is clearer. Further, the committee rejected the establishment of county planning consultative forum. Therefore, the proposed new clause 37 would not apply. Here is where the Senate proposes that since we have a national planning consultative forum, then the counties must also have a county consultative forum, which is equal to having a cabinet meeting at the county level.
Very good explanation to the import of this. Honourable members, I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 37 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question which the Senate amendment to clause 37 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 38.
I propose a question which the Senate amendment to clause 38 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 38 be amended in paragraph A, 1 and 2, B, C, D, E, F, G, H as per the order paper, and the justification is the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Hence, all the amendments are not in order. Thank you, Chair.
Very well, straightforward. Again, a retention of the title. Honourable members, I move to propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 38 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I put the question with the Senate amendment to clause 38 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. Remember, will as many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 38, as amended be now approved. Will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 39.
Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 39 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 39 be amended as per the order paper, and the justification is the same, that the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Thank you, Chair.
Again, retention of the title of the bill by the committee. Honourable members, I now propose the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 39, be amended as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 39, be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question, which is Senate amendment clause 39, as amended, be now approved. Members, will as many as of the opinion say aye? Or as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 40.
Members, I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment clause 40, be now approved. Honorable Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 40 be deleted, and the reason is the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Thank you, Chair.
I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 40, be deleted. Member for Yatta, though you're not even in your seat. Member for Yatta, you can use the dispatch box. Just use this one. You can use the dispatch box. We are not clause 40 because I can see you're requesting. Give him the mic. You know, member for Yatta, just go to the one behind. You know, those ones look like the one we use in Baraza. So.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I think although this matter has been brought up severally, I think the leader, although there's a lot of interruption from...
You are referring to the leader of majority?
Yes,
member for Yatta?
I think the chair, yourself, the chair,
yes,
and the leader of majority, this matter should not rest here. I think you should convey our displeasure to the Speaker and the Speaker to the Speaker of the Senate, because we are spending a lot of money hiring staff who are supposed to be professional. Surely, if the legal officers in Senate don't know the meaning of fiscal planning and land use, and this actually, fiscal planning is actually a course, a master's course in the university, and land use is entirely something else. So I think, and you have heard
very well.
Our colleague, Florence, has said they have the same challenge in the Committee of Agriculture. So it should not just end here, it should be conveyed to the Speaker.
Yatta, also again, because you are raising, we are on Senate amendment. We hear your comment, but you are in support or not on the amendment? Yeah, because you rose up on that, you are in?
I'm in support of
very well. I put the question, members, which is a Senate amendment clause 40, be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment clause 41.
I propose a question, which is that Senate amendment clause 41 be now approved. Honorable Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 41 be deleted, and the reason is the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Thank you, Chair.
Again, retention. I propose a question, which is Senate amendment clause 41 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Let me hear member for Sako.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. You are doing an excellent job. I just wanted to explain. Physical planning is deciding in advance what to do, where, when, with what, and how, in, under, and above land. It is a thought process that guides land use, thereby has to be guided by a set of rules, regulations, and standards.
Okay.
Land use involves the management and modification of natural environment or wilderness into built environment, such as settlement and semi-natural habitats, such as arable fields, pastures, and managed woods.
Very well, very well. And I remember you explained those. I'm sure the committee looked at those. And thank you for actually even now looking at the full definition of this physical planning and the full definition for the sake of those who are not. So, honourable members, I move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause number 41 be deleted. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment clause 42.
You know, members, when you see the Honorable Rasu going to research, yeah. I propose a question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 42 be now approved. Honorable Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 42 be deleted. And the first justification, Chair, is the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Hence, all those amendments are not in order.
Very well, retention.
And also, further, the deletion of paragraph E, which requires county governments to prepare plans that give effect to city or urban development plans, would result to disharmony and inconsistency in development plans.
With that important members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 42 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment clause 43.
I propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 43 be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 43 be amended by deleting paragraph 2 as per the order paper, and the reason is the retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill.
I propose a question which is Senate amendment clause 43 be amended as proposed by the chair, and because it's the same thing, I want to put the question which is Senate amendment clause 40. Senate amendment to clause 43 be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question which is Senate amendment clause 43 as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, as many as the contrary opinion say nay, members, the ayes have it.
Senate amendment clause 44.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment clause 44 be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 44 be deleted, and the reason is retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill.
With that, important members, I propose a question with the Senate amendment clause 44 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I put the question which is a Senate amendment clause 44 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. Members, as many as of the opinion say aye, as many as of contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Honourable Sankok, I mean, the process has to go. And the procedure, I know you look tired, but you must allow the whole process. You don't look, you have no choice. You got no choice. There is no, Honorable Sankok, 001, allow me advise you from where I am. There is no way you can have a shortcut in lawmaking process. I know you could be tired, the chair is repeating the same thing, but you must go close by close. Let's move on.
Senate amendment clause 45.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 45 be approved. Honourable Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 45 be deleted, and the justification is the committee retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill.
Again, honourable members, I propose a question which is Senate amendment to clause 45 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I move to put the question with no interest, which is a Senate amendment to clause 45 be deleted. Will as many as of this opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate amendment clause 46.
I propose a question with a Senate amendment to clause 46 be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 5 be amended as per the order paper.
We are on clause 46. Honourable Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 46 be amended by deleting paragraph B as per the order paper, and the justification is the same, that the committee changed the title of the, stuck to the title of the bill, physical planning bill.
Very well, members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 46 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I put the question with the Senate amendment clause 46 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question with the Senate amendment clause 46 as amended be now approved. As many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next clause.
Senate amendment clause 47.
I propose a question with the Senate amendment clause 47 be now approved. Honourable Mover. Nyamai.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 47 be amended as per the order paper, and the justification is retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill.
Very well, the same. Propose a question, members, which is a Senate amendment to clause 47 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai. I move to put the question with a Senate amendment clause 47 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyamai. Members, as many as of this say aye. And as many as contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question, which is that Senate amendment clause 47 as amended be now approved. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Members, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate Amendment Clause 48.
Members, I propose a question which the Senate amendment clause 48 be now approved. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 48 be deleted. The reason is that the committee maintained the title of the bill as physical planning, and also further down, the inclusion of natural resources as a matter in respect of which the county governments may declare a special planning area goes against the provisions of paragraph 22 of Part 1 of the fourth schedule of the Constitution, which provides that protection of natural resources is a national government function. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Honourable members, I propose a question which the Senate amendment to clause 48 be deleted as proposed by the Chair. I move to put the question with the Senate amendment to clause 48 be deleted as proposed by the Chair. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next.
Senate Amendment to Clause 50.
I propose a question which is a Senate amendment clause 50 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 50 be deleted, and the justification is retention of the title of the bill as physical planning bill.
Very well. I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 50 be deleted as proposed by the Chair. I move to put the question which is a Senate amendment to clause 50 be deleted as proposed by the Chair. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 51.
Members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 51 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to clause 51 be deleted. The first justification is because the committee has retained the title of the bill as physical planning bill. Further down to clause 2 of the bill, it defines physical authorities to include both the cabinet secretary and the county executive committee members. Since the bill deals with physical planning in both levels of government, that is at the national level and at the county level, so it is important to retain the term physical planning authorities in the bill. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. With that, important members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 51 be deleted as proposed. I put the question which is at Senate amendment to clause 51 be deleted as proposed by the Chair. As many as are of the opinion say aye, and as many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate Amendment to Clause 52.
Honourable members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 52 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendment to clause 52 be amended as per the order paper in A, B, C, D, and E. And the justification is that the bill defines planning authorities to include both the cabinet secretary and the CEC member. Since the bill deals with physical planning in both levels of government, it is important to retain the term planning authorities, just like the one above.
Like the one above. Very well, honourable members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 52 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. I see no interest to this, Honourable Sankok, no interest to this, and I therefore move to put the question, which is a Senate amendment to clause 52, be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyamai. Members, will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is that Senate amendment to clause 52, as amended, be now approved. Honourable members, will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause.
Senate Amendment to Clause 53.
Members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 53 be now approved. Mover?
Chair, I beg to move that Senate amendments to clause 53 be deleted, and the reason is that the bill defines planning authorities to be the cabinet secretary and the CEC, so it is important to keep it in the bill.
Very well, mover. Honourable members, I propose a question which is a Senate amendment to clause 53 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Is the mood of the House to put the question? Yes. I move to put the question which is Senate Amendment Clause 53 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As members of the bill say aye. As members of the court bill say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause.
Senate Amendment Clause 54.
I propose the question which is the Senate Amendment Clause 54 be now approved. Mover.
Chair, I beg to move that the Senate amendment to clause 54 be deleted. The reason is the same as above, that the Cabinet Secretary and the CEC are the planning authorities. Since this bill deals with the physical planning, both levels of government must be involved. Thank you, Chair.
I propose the question, members, which is the Senate Amendment to clause 54 be deleted as proposed by the chair. No interest to speak to this. I'm a member for Turkana, Nidhi, Tharaka Nidhi. A comment on this?
Yeah, Chair, I wanted to support the amendment by the committee chair.
Very
but I
well.
think there's something wrong with the machine.
There's something wrong with your machine?
Yeah, because I've been trying and you are saying that there's nobody who has an interest.
I can see now you have an interest now. When you spoke and you are in support.
And I'm supporting the amendment the proposed, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very well, the member for Tharaka Nidhi, the women rep. Members, I now have moved to put the question, which is Senate Amendment to clause 54 be deleted as proposed. As members of the period say aye. As members of the court of period say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate Amendment Clause 55.
Honorable members, I propose the question which is Senate Amendment Clause 55 be now approved. Mover.
amendments be deleted. The purpose for the deletion is, this is a consequential amendment following committee's deletion of the new clause 12A, which provides for establishment of county land use planning consultative forum. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I now put the question that I now propose a question that new clause 12B be deleted as proposed by the chair. Yes, Majority Leader. What is it?
I think we need to go to the answer. Chair said 12A instead of saying 12B. So she can repeat it, yeah.
Yes, Honorable Chair, for purpose of record.
Okay.
It is important.
It's important, yeah.
Did you say 12A or 12B?
Chair, thank you, Leader of Majority, for that correction. I would like to take this again, Honorable Chair, that the new clause 12B of the Senate amendments be deleted, and the justification is the same, that it is a consequential amendment following the committee's deletion of new clause 12A, which provides for establishment of county land use planning consultative forum. Thank you, Chair.
Very well, we take that again. I propose a question that the proposed new clause 12B by the Senate be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question, honorable members, that the proposed new clause 12B be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 12C proposed by Senate.
I propose a question that the proposed new clause 12C be approved. Honorable Chair.
Chair, I propose that the new clause 12C of the Senate amendments be deleted. Reason for deletion is it is a consequential amendment following the committee's deletion of new clause 12A, which provided for county land use planning consultative forum. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the proposed new clause 12C by the Senate be deleted as proposed by the chair. Honorable, I'm trying to get your card. Yes, it's here. Honorable Shaban, you want to speak to that deletion?
Yes. I agree with the chair of Lands Committee that it is not necessary to have a repetition, because it's like having another executive sitting beyond the executive chaired by the governor. So it is unnecessary, and so I agree with this amendment.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question that the proposed new clause 12C be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 49A proposed by Senate.
Yes, you take the correct one.
New clause 60A proposed by Senate.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the proposed new clause 60A by the Senate be now approved. Honorable Chair, 60A. Give her the mic.
49. So 49, there is no.
Very well, we are at 60A. And give the Honorable Chair the mic.
Chair, I would like to move that clause 60A of the Senate amendments be deleted. And the amendment is redundant, as its provisions are already adequately covered in Section 39 of the Land Registration Act. Honorable Chair, this one deals with the issues of the registrar, that it introduces a new functions or new responsibilities to the registrar. So it's already covered in Land Registration Act number 3 of 2012. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, I propose the question that the proposed new clause 60A by the Senate be deleted as proposed by the chair. Yes, Majority Leader, you want to speak to this? Give Majority the mic.
Chair, now again, this is another area where the Senate of the Republic of Kenya and its legal department have slept on the job. They are bringing an amendment where already that amendment, that law is provided for in other land laws. And as we go ahead, you'll see the chair of lands telling us that we delete this because already it's either provided in the Land Registration Act or it's provided for in another law within the land legislative system. So again, this is, we ask, is there a due diligence? I don't think whether the legal department of the Senate, and I want to go on record, that they know what they are doing. You cannot create another act, another section of a law which is already provided for. Parliament cannot, create duplication. And this, if this thing passes, then that's why you see the president returning that law under the powers given to him by Article 1115, that what you have passed is unconstitutional. It's already provided for. So I beg to support the chair, and I'm sure the Senate will learn a lot from what's happening this afternoon or this evening in the National Assembly. I beg to support. This is just simple things.
Honorable members, I'm actually being notified here. We actually have clause 49A.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Although we are speaking to 60A, there was another impression that there was no 49A. The committee has no amendment on it, which is clause 49A, and we need to speak to it.
There is some 49A.
You're harassing that member. Yeah, it is in.
Yes, it is there.
It is there. It is in page 424.
Honorable members, what in light of this, because we have to make a decision, take a decision on 49A. Let me give direction on this, because we were at 60A, but the House, the committee hadn't made a final decision on 60A as yet. So in that case, I will guide that we go to 49A. We go back to 49A, dispense with it, and then go back to 60A. The good thing is that the House, the committee hadn't made a decision on 60A. So let's go to 49A, so that then that process is tidy, and we dispense with all the clauses.
New clause 49A proposed by Senate.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the proposed new clause 49A by the Senate be now approved. Honorable Chair. There is no amendment on that. I now put the question that the proposed new clause 49A by the Senate be now approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 60A proposed by the Senate.
We now go back to new clause 60A. Honorable members, I propose a question that the proposed new clause 60A by the Senate be now approved. Honorable Chair, take that again. 60A.
Chair, I propose that new clause 60A of the Senate amendment be deleted. The reason for deletion is that this matter is adequately covered in Section 39 of the Land Registration Act, number 3 of 2012. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the proposed new clause 60A by the Senate be deleted as proposed by the chair. It's a deletion, but honorable member insists that she needs to speak to this. If you can, briefly, then we make progress.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me this chance again. I want to support the Chair in the deletion of this section 60A Mr. Speaker, as a house, the Parliament is blessed house. It's a house that have been given all the powers and the capacity and well-resourced, that has research department, has legal department, and it is unfortunately one house of the Parliament overlooked its own mandate by not doing proper research, by not doing all the legal profession that is required, because we have all these resources at our fingertip, and we are supposed to use them properly. And as a committee of the Senate, we are asking them in the future, whenever they are given some work to do for this nation, they should take their work seriously, engage properly with the research department and the legal department. I support the deletion. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question that the proposed new clause 60A by the Senate be treated as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to the first schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the Senate, that the Senate amendment to the first schedule be approved. Honorable Chair.
Be deleted. Chair, I propose that the Senate amendments to the first schedule be amended as per the order paper.
Yes, deleted, Honorable Chair. Very well, honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the first schedule be deleted as proposed by the chair. As I put the question that the Senate amendment to the first schedule be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to the second schedule.
I propose a question, the Senate amendment to the second schedule be approved.
Chair, I propose that the second schedule, the Senate amendments in the second schedule be amended as per the order paper. And the justification for this is inclusion of human rights and poverty eradication and gender in a situational analysis of a physical development plan is ambiguous, since human rights issues have no correlation with physical planning. Honorable Chair, I would like to say that we were shocked by this amendment and how the Senate decided to bring it into physical planning matters, because there is no correlation between the two. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, was that an amendment or a deletion?
Deletion.
It's a deletion.
Yes.
Just confirm that.
By deleting paragraph A, deleting B, and deleting C.
Are you sure it's a deletion from the order paper? Looks like it is actually an amendment rather than a deletion. It's not a complete deletion. There's some element of amendment as well.
It is not a complete deletion.
Yeah, it's important
There is deletion of A, also deletion of subparagraph B, and also a deletion of C. However, the committee agrees that issues of climate change may, however, have an impact on physical planning, so it's an amendment. There are deletions and amendments.
Very well, honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the second schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. I will put the question on this one.
Yes.
It's okay. I put the question that the Senate amendment to the second schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the second schedule be approved. As amended, be approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to the third schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the Senate amendment to the third schedule be approved. Honorable Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendments to the third schedule be amended as per the order paper. There are some deletions and amendments. The justification is inclusion of human rights and poverty eradication and gender in a situational analysis of physical development plans is ambiguous, just as above. However, the committee agrees that issues of climate change can have an impact on physical planning. So we took that. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the third schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Yes, Majority Leader.
Support the chair. And this amendment basically is to sneak in law civil society groups and NGOs to go to court on matters of land. So this is, what is human rights? You know, so, Mr. Speaker, I think the Senate, somebody in the Senate owns an NGO or is a civil society. So this is a very mischievous amendment, and I agree with the chair. We should not legislate to give people the powers to go to court after they get money from the Western powers. Yeah.
Honorable Sophia.
Thank you so much, Chair. I want to agree with the amendment by deleting all those paragraphs, but I want to disagree for the first time in history with my brother, the Majority Leader, by talking to civil society. Being a person coming from civil society, I want to say, and I want to agree with the Chair, that physical planning issue...
What is your point of order? Member 001. Give him the mic, even next door.
Come with this one.
You can use the Honorable Sophia one.
Honorable Chair, I think, you know, she was my boss in the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, but I'm also differing with her for the first. She must declare interest. I've known her for a long time. She owns a very important NGO in the whole of Northern Kenya, and she's a national activist, and she cannot bring the activism inside this house, Honorable Chair.
Well,
thank you, Chair. I appreciate and I want to declare interest. I am a founder of a very strong non-governmental organization that is repeatedly respected in the world.
Very well.
That have gotten an award all over. But I want to agree with the Chair 100%. When issues, matters of physical planning comes on board, you cannot bring petty issues saying human rights, gender, poverty reduction. Honestly, if you are thinking in your right sense, you cannot bring something like that to fiscal planning. Where does fiscal planning fall issues of human rights, issues of gender, issues of poverty reduction, climate change? I agree completely. Thank you so much, Chair.
We must make progress on this one. Honorable members, what is your point of order, Honorable Wamalo? I hope it's not on Honorable Sophie's.
It is a precedent that has been set. You know, when the honorable member declared that there's an interest of the issue of the NGO, I didn't see a big deal unless she justifies in the context of the fiscal planning. But from the way she explained, being a founder of NGO, it has no business as far as conflicts of interest is concerned, unless in the context that of the bill at hand.
Very well. No, Honorable Sophie, we are not revisiting that one. And that is why even the chair did not pronounce himself on that one, because, honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the third schedule, as proposed by the chair, be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the third schedule, as amended, be now approved. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to the fourth schedule.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the 4th schedule be now approved. Honorable Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendments to the 4th schedule be amended as per the order paper, where we have some deletions and other areas where we sought amendments. The purpose of these amendments, Chair, is if this is necessary to delete paragraph 14 as it conflicts with section 144 of the Land Act number 6, 2012, which provides that the National Land Commission shall be responsible for grant of way leaves. So we do not know why the Senate did not look at the existing laws. Also, the committee retained physical planning as opposed to land use. So that amendment, all the amendments relating to this are not in order. In clause 2, we would like the recognition of the Cabinet Secretary and the CEC at the national government and at the county level, respectively, to be part of physical planning. So the word, that is why we would like to retain the term planning authorities in the bill. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the 4th schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question that the Senate amendment to the 4th schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the 4th schedule as amended be now approved. Will as many as are... Honorable Shaban?
Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, ningeomba tu kutaja ya kwamba kutekeleza sheria na kutengeneza sheria za Kenya. Hivyo basi huu uachwe ili tuweze kusogeza mambo mbele. Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, masuala ya ardhi, haswa masuala ya ardhi hapa nchini ni masuala yenye kuchukuliwa na kuleta hisia mbalimbali na zimefanya watu wengi wa Kenya kuumizana kwa sababu ya masuala haya. Kwa hivyo kwenye mipangilio ya ardhi zetu hatutaki utani. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Very well, honorable members. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the 4th schedule as amended be now approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate Amendment Clause 2.
Honorable members, I propose a question. Please. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate Amendment to Clause 2 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Chair, I beg to move that Senate amendments to Clause 2 be amended as per the order paper, and the justification is retention of the title of the bill by the committee as physical planning bill. Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to proceed that the other amendments should be retained as they are in the bill, as they provide more clarity.
Very well. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to Clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable members, I put the question that the Senate amendment to Clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to Clause 2 as amended be now approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to the title.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the title be now approved. Honorable Chair.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendments to Clause 1 be deleted as per the order paper. And the reason for the deletion is the committee has stuck to the title of the bill, which is physical planning bill, as opposed to land use. Thank you, Chair.
Is it, Honorable Chair, is that deletion, right? Very well, very well. Honorable members, I now propose a question that the Senate amendment to the title be, as proposed by the Chair, be deleted. I now I now I've proposed that question, so I put the question now. Honorable members, I put the question that the Senate amendment to the title, as proposed by the chair, be deleted. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 1.
I propose a question, the Senate amendment to clause 1 be now approved. Honorable Echonyamai, the chair. Clause 1.
Chair, I propose that the Senate amendment to clause 1 be deleted, and the justification, Honorable Chair, is that the committee retained the title of the bill, which is Physical Planning Bill. Thank you, Chair.
Very well, honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 1 be deleted, as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 1 be deleted, as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Wow, thank you.
Honorable members, we clearly are done with that. We shall ask the mover.
To the whole House, you don't reply. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Fiscal Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Fiscal Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017, and its approval thereof with amendment. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we are now done with the Senate amendments to the Fiscal Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017. We shall now get to the next piece, which is the Senate amendments to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017. Very well, honorable members, shall we get going on this one?
Clause 3, Senate amendment to clause 3.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 3 be now approved. There is no amendment on that. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 3 be now approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 6.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 6 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I propose Senate amendment to clause 6A be deleted. Clause 6A by deleting paragraph A, B in paragraph B by deleting 1, Roman 1, deleting subparagraph 1, Roman 2, deleting subparagraph 3, and C by deleting paragraph C. Justification is that the amendment is that under the fourth schedule of the Constitution, irrigation is a residual function and it is a preserve for the national government. Article 186 stipulates that. Equally, Article 93 of the Constitution provides that the Parliament of Kenya consists of the Senate and the National Assembly. The Senate amendment is therefore frivolous. Also, the Cabinet Secretary under the national government retains the power to issue irrigation licenses and not the COG. Thank you.
Very well, Honorable Chair, there is part amendment, part deletion, so we'll consider that as an amendment. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 6 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 8.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 8 be now approved. There are no amendments on that. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 8 be now approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 9.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 9 be amended, be now approved. Honorable Chair.
I propose the Senate amendment to clause 9 be deleted. Be deleted A in paragraph A by Roman 1, deleting the subparagraph 2. Roman 2, deleting subparagraph 3.
Honorable Chair, it's just, it's not a deletion, or at least even if it is part deletion.
Yes.
So that for record,
okay,
it's actually an amendment. Yes, what is it, Majority Leader?
I think the chair, what he should do, which is more tidier, he says that as per the order paper, because members have the order paper. So that he doesn't read what is the order paper. Just say the Senate amendments as per the order paper.
The order paper does not have the deletion.
No, it does.
Honorable Chair, the members have everything. They have, they are in the, as per the order paper.
Okay.
The honorable members need to note there is a supplementary order paper, and the amendments are there. So what you could do, Honorable Chair, is just to give the import of the amendment.
All right, fine.
Then we make progress.
So, again, I propose the Senate amendment to clause 9 be deleted. Justification is that under the fourth schedule of the, the Senate amendment unduly expands the composition of the Board of National Irrigation Authority from 2 to 4. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 9 be, as amended, be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 14.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 14 be approved. It has an amendment, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose the Senate amendment to clause 14 be deleted as it appears on the order paper. The justification, Honorable Chair, is that the amendment is under the fourth schedule of the Constitution. Irrigation is a residual function of the national government, in accordance with Article 186 of the Constitution, which provides that functions not assigned by the Constitution or national legislation to a county be retained as a function of the national government. This is where they said that they need, the CS must consult with the COG. Thank you.
Let me go to the next. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Sophia, you want to speak to this?
Mr. Chair, again, and I want to say that the fourth schedule of our constitution is very clear of the functions of both levels of the government functions. And it will be very unfortunate again for our Senate to overlook on the functions that is undertaken by both levels of the government, and completely irrigation is under the national government. So again, we want to ask the legal committee of the Senate again to relook at the work, the way they conduct. Thank you, Chair.
Very well, honorable members, I now, Honorable Kabiga, you wanted to speak to this?
Thank you, Chairman. I also want to support the chairman on this. I think, Chairman, there is an attempt by Senate to give some powers or laws to the Council of Governors to some of these functions that are purely national, which will only bring in complication and bring in bureaucracies that are necessary. We would want the Cabinet Secretary to have as much powers to make decisions that will move our irrigation schemes forward, Mr. Chairman.
Very well.
I support the chairman.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 14 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendment to clause 16.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 16 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I propose that Senate amendment to clause 16 be deleted as it appears on the order paper. This basically safeguards...
Be amended.
Be deleted.
As per the order paper. Maybe that is a tidier way.
Be amended as per the order paper. This is to safeguard, the safeguards on the environment are already provided for under the Environmental Management and Coordination Act. So they do not need really to introduce it again. This is duplication.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 16 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 16 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to clause 17.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 17 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose the Senate amendment to clause 17 be amended as it appears on the order paper. This is again under the fourth schedule. Functions of national government is very clear, and so the COG does not need to involve itself. This only merely seeks to make the work of the CS normally delay. Thank you.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 17 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 17 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 17 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to clause 20.
I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 20 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose Senate amendment to clause 20 be amended as it appears on the order paper. This is owing to the fact that the Senate amendment removes the aspect of cost sharing in the agreement but does not propose alternatives. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 20 be amended as proposed by the chair. Yes, Honorable Kabinga.
Thank you, Chairman, once again. I think this is another case of Senate not understanding the running of the schemes. This particular clause was intended to even reflect the current situation, where farmers do contribute some money that is added to whatever the government is giving to maintain the schemes. Now, when they remove the cost-sharing phenomena, they are kind of now running away to the current situation and bringing a case where farmers would even go for loans, which is not the intended purpose of this particular clause. I support the chairman.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 20 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, you look, yes, you have been, it has been a busy afternoon, but I have to hear the voice so that I know. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 20 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to clause 25.
I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 25 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose Senate amendment to clause 25 be amended as it appears on the order paper. The effect of the Senate amendment is that it connotes that dispute will arise within the schemes in regard to water allocation and delivery. However, disputes may arise between one scheme and another. Therefore, a broader provision as it is in the provision covers dispute contemplated in the Senate amendment is necessary. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 25 as amended be approved. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to clause 34.
I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 34 be approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose Senate amendment to clause 34 be amended as it appears on the order paper. The justification is that the Senate amendment will have the unintended consequence of compelling the Cabinet Secretary to seek approval from the National Assembly and the Senate before publication of regulation. Yet, the Statutory Instrument Act contemplates that a Cabinet Secretary is required to ensure that a copy of the statutory instrument shall be transmitted to the responsible clerk of the relevant House of Parliament within 7 sitting days after publication of a statutory instrument. Thank you.
Very well. I propose a question that the Senate amendments to clause 34 be amended as proposed by the chair. Yes, Majority Leader.
Chair, this is a very sad moment. Statutory instrument allows the Cabinet Secretary to forward regulations to the National Assembly and not the Senate. It is the powers given to the CS. And it's not the other way around that the Senate wants, that he must consult the National Assembly and the Senate. And in my view, the Senate wants to get powers because they don't have the Committee on Delegated Legislation. They want to get powers through the back door, but we are very much alive to the provisions of the Statutory Instruments Act. If they want powers, they should become members of the National Assembly. The other people, in their case, the instruments making powers in the counties lies with the delegated legislation in the county assembly. So what they have, the only powers they have is if they see a number of counties with different delegated, different instruments, then they can say, why can't you harmonize? But even the making of a statutory instrument and approving, the Senate doesn't have, it is the county assemblies of the various counties. And Mr. Speaker, this is another area where the legal department of the Senate have failed. You must advise the senators that this can't happen. Otherwise, in the next election, let them contest as members of parliament if they want to have powers in terms of legislation.
Very well. We'll give the last one to Honorable Wamarwa. Then we make progress on this one.
Thank you, Chair. And they also need to know procedurally, once as per the Instruments Act, once the regulations have been gazetted, they are actually enforced immediately, pending approval or disapproval of the National Assembly. And in this case, as leader has mentioned, the Committee of Delegated Legislation is only in the National Assembly. And as per Schedule 4, all those matters are approved in the National Assembly. If it's anything to do with the counties, the Delegated Legislation Committee is the county assembly. So here they are totally irrelevant. It shows they are idling, they are not busy, and they want to give themselves powers through the back door, Mr. Speaker, and we condemn that. Chair.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 34 be amended as proposed by the chair. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 34 as amended be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to the schedule.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to the schedule be now approved. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose Senate amendment to the schedule be amended as it appears on the order paper. And the justification, Honorable Chair, is that the committee rejected the Senate amendment to clause 9, paragraph D. Therefore, there is need to harmonize it with the schedule. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose a question that the Senate amendments to the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question that the Senate amendments to the schedule as submitted be approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate amendments to clause 2.
I propose a question that the Senate amendment to clause 2 be approved. There are no amendments, Chair, on that. There are no amendments on clause 2. Yes. Therefore, honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendments to clause 2 be now approved. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Chair, honorable members, we have come to some closure of that. So, mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I'll put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017, and its approval thereof with amendments. With as many as are of that opinion say aye. With as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations, members. We are done with that. Very well, honorable members. Shall we progress? Chairperson,
we shall start with the irrigation bill. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Senate amendment to the Irrigation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2017, and approved the same with or without amendments. With amendments. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Mover.
His 001 is doing very well, and you learn. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Member for Moya to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Yes, on the member for Moya, Honorable Kabinga.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Other members. Honorable members, I propose a question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, because of the obvious, the quorum, we shall ped putting the question on that. Honorable members, we get to the next one, which is the physical planning bill. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker. Now I'm the Chair. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Senate amendment to the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017, and approved the same with amendments. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Songo, do you say Madam Speaker? It cannot be, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
You will be completely out of order to have referred me as Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, the gracious lady was in front of me and she's a speaker. So she's the one confusing me with a smile. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the House has considered the Senate amendment to the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017, and approved the same with amendments. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Chris Wamalwa to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Chris Wamalwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do second.
Honorable members, I propose a question which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. We shall again putting the question on that particular one. Let's go to the next one, which is a Land Value Index Laws Amendment Bill. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Senate amendment to the Land Value Index Law Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2018, and approved the same with amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mover. Honorable Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Sophia Abdi to second the motion for agreement with the report of the whole House, if she's ready.
Honorable Sophia, she looks ready.
I second.
Very well. Very well. Honorable members, I propose a question which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Again, we'll putting the question on that particular motion. Very well, honorable members, we have dispensed with those 3 laws to that extent. So, next order.
Order number 14, motion, report on the examination of the financial statements of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission.
Yes, what is it, Majority Leader?
Chair, I had an engagement earlier with the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, and he has asked me to convey to the House Business Committee that we step down this order and reschedule it to another date, maybe next Tuesday when the House business meets. You remember this, they said this report has lost the heart and the kidney. So maybe he's looking for kidneys and heart, artificial heart. But we will still look like that, but now he has asked for it to be deferred.
Well, you know, it is entirely me. The majority has appealed. Honorable Jessica, what did you want to say something?
Mike.
Oh, the Vice Chair was here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to support the leader of majority. I am the Vice Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, and I must pronounce ourselves that the committee is fully represented in the House. But out of consultations with the Chair and the leader of majority, we did propose, and given the time, that because this is a very important committee and a very important report, that as a speaker, as the leader of majority did say, that we request that it be moved to another sitting so that we can cross-examine the report as the speaker's ruling. I thank you.
Honorable Mora, I'm already convinced. What do you want to say?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know that report is the property of the House. The report was tabled, a notice of motion was given. So if it has lost the heart and the kidney, we cannot rejuvenate it. The best thing is to kill the report. So we should not give them time, Mr. Speaker, that they are going to look for other excuses. This is the property of the House, and we will pronounce ourselves.
Of course, Honorable Amarwa is out of order. Because, one, we are not discussing the report at all. The issue is that it is in the order paper, and the Speaker is being requested to consider that it be stepped down, which I order now, that it will be stepped down until a subsequent time. And the Vice Chair is here. She is reminding us. Next order.
Order number 15, motion, reports on budgetary proposals for the East African Community for financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019.
What is really out of order, Honorable Amalo?
Timing, Mr. Chair, and we don't have a quorum. Please. Yes, it's fair, yeah. We are tired.
What is, you know, Honorable Amalo, you stood for just half a minute. You said something that even the chair did not hear.
I said, Mr. Speaker, the issue is, the House does not have quorum to continue conducting business. We'll only have 5 minutes, 10 minutes remaining. Been here since the whole of afternoon. So we have no quorum.
Order members, you know, when a member rises and raises the issue of quorum, and I ascertain that we don't have the quorum, there is no way I can navigate that point of order. And so I order that the bell be rung. why did Honorable Amalwa leave? The rules, the same rules he talked about. He cannot break them. Yeah? Tell that member to come back. Because he should also know the rules. When the quorum bell, you cannot leave. We are done 10 minutes. I order that the bell be stopped now. We can't raise a quorum. In that case, honorable members, the time now being 6:50 p.m., this House stands adjourned till Thursday, 28th March 2019 at 2:30 p.m.